Hey everyone, Don and Ash here.
Hello.
Today we're checking out the 20th anniversary in-game event preview video that World of Warcraft just put out yesterday. We've been playing the game now for just over a week, The War Within, which everybody's been super excited about. It's been a blast so far, and I think this is something that a lot of people have been looking forward to. I didn't even know that 20 years was coming up. I remember playing this game when I was a kid, and it's just exciting to see how it's come so far, and it's kind of like got a lot of OG players back into the game with such excitement at the same time as pulling a lot of newer players in with that same excitement. So we're all on the same page. It's all a unified vision. And so they're going to be letting us in on a lot of information in this video, just over 10 minutes. And so I think both of us are looking super forward to what we have in store to look forward to.
Yeah, super stoked.
So with that being said, let's hop right in.
The War Within is now live, and while we can't wait for everyone to experience the upcoming endgame content, the train isn't stopping. Arriving on the PTR soon, the team will be testing a new anniversary event for World of Warcraft. Today we're here with Holly, Brett, and Leah to share more on what the live team has been cooking up. So Holly.
Yes?
Let's talk anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, 20th anniversary for World of Warcraft, 30th for Warcraft, and 10th for Hearthstone. What an amazing journey, and to be leading into it this year. Our commitment to make the game feel alive every single day that you log in. All the work we're doing to kick off the World Soul Saga. So excited that War Within is launched and everyone's in it now and part of this world story. And we're gonna see where it's going. We're not stopping. So anniversary is coming up, and we've got some good friends here to talk about what's coming.
With such a big milestone for the game, how did you approach this year's anniversary?
It's a great question. Last fall, even, I started to look into what kind of event we wanted to do. We've had various events in the past. For the 15th, we did that really epic raid. So I did some ideas, and it really became a patch. We sat down, we did a huge brainstorm with the live team, and then we started to pick the top ones and see what we could do to cover all of our different player segments. So it was really a fun experience to flesh out all these cool ideas.
What was at the top of that list?
By far the top one, everybody remembers Blackrock Depths really fondly.
Yeah.
And so we
Fondly is a word.
So yeah, everybody really wanted to do something with Blackrock Depths. And so as we looked at all of these features, we really wanted to make them new and innovative, but also harken back. So we are going to be bringing Blackrock Depths as a 10 to 15 player raid. We're really excited. We have 8 main bosses, 5 mini bosses, and basically we'll have LFR, normal, and heroic difficulties.
I remember Blackrock Depths. I was there with my hunter, just farming that gladiator's chainmail over and over and over again.
It was always random too, so you didn't have a chance always.
It took forever, so I'm excited to go back in there and hopefully get my revenge.
I remember going there and dying. So, if anyone wants to carry me in a heroic, just ring me up.
What other features are there going to be in the anniversary event?
Yeah, so we really wanted to do an outdoor experience to sort of revisit the Gates of Ancraj opening. And who better to take us on this adventure than Chromie?
Oh no.
We love Chromie.
So Chromie has this codex that she uses to safely display the past. And well, you can expect there's going to be some crazy time things happening with that. So we're going to have enemies popping up that should not be there within Silithus, like the Scourge, the Legion, Karaji, and we're going to see some familiar names like Tichondrius, Assyrian, and Kel'Thuzad.
Ah, Kel'Thuzad again. Oh man.
It's shaping up to be a really cool experience. Players will get to queue in whenever they want. They'll get put together with other players and get to go through this kind of epic fixing of the past.
Again.
Oh,
Again.
Chromie. Yeah.
As we would say, timey-wimey. Speaking of the past, is there anything else that we'll be revisiting?
So we've heard the community loud and clear. We know that time walking is
Before they get into time walking, I just want to mention that the Blackrock Depths, the inclusion of Blackrock Depths was a big thing in, I forget if it was Classic or Burning Crusade or which early expansion that it was, but I spent a lot of time in there. I think a lot of people did. It was, I even remember I'm getting flashbacks of doing PvP. If anyone remembers doing PvP at the Flight Masters, because if I'm not mistaken, the Flight Masters, the Alliance, and the Horde one were like just on the other side of a mountain, or they were like very close to each other. So we'd always be just below or around the Flight Master, and in the graveyard camping each other and such. That was a good time. The events with Chromie, it's interesting how they're kind of weaving those in. With the time walking stuff, I mean, if you don't care about the story, it's always a chance to get like a certain currency, so you can get items in game or upgrades in game or whatever it is. But there are certain parts that I didn't play, so it'd be good to go back and mention those and see those.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There's definitely some expansions I missed as well, and I came in a little like late. I don't say later in WoW, but like I think around Kata. So like, actually, I don't.
Cataclysm.
Yeah, Cataclysm. I didn't actually spend a lot of time at Blackrock Deaths. I've been there like obviously a few times at one. So like, I'm just more so excited that I'm actually gonna get more time there. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I know I can go
yeah.
back and kind of visit it myself, but it's nice that they're bringing it back in this way. So it's like there will be activity around it where like groups are gonna be easier to find, to join in and explore all that.
Yeah, like I said, for people that missed out on it, for me, it's just gonna be a whole lot of like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
And in a whole new way. So, I kind of like the unified vision. One thing that it is the third developer in with the blue top. She mentioned that they're excited to build this whole world out. So I'm excited to see, one thing that I'm really not rushing through is the lore this time in the story. They've done such a good job with making the lore really digestible. We didn't play Dragonflight. So coming back from Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands, it's really good to get into the lore. And it seems like it's, they're still presenting a really epic story, but it doesn't feel super overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they done it, but they just made it really easy to fall down that slippery slope into WoW again, which, is a good thing or a bad thing, depending. So.
Is very popular. So the team has put together some incredible time walking dungeons.
And some of you may be thinking BFA, but that's not quite yet. We're actually going back in time to fill in one of the areas that we have not hit yet, and that is the original dungeon. So we're going to be bringing Dead Mines, Zul'Farrak, Dire Maul, and Stratholme. So there'll be 2 Dire Maul wings and the 2 Stratholme wings. They'll be introduced with 20th, but they'll continue into the regular rotation afterwards. A couple other things that we're going to change with time locking.
Very cool.
We're going to allow players from 10 and up to do it. So a lot of those people that like to level will have more opportunity there. And then we're also realizing that a lot of people already have all of the items from the various vendors. So we are going to do a vendor refresh, and so you might see some new mounts and pets and transmogs show up on each of the vendors as we go through the different time walkings going forward.
So I can go to Dire Maul, get loot and more loot and more loot.
Yeah, we're really excited for everybody to get a chance to go after the things they like. If they enjoy doing the dungeon run, or if they're looking for more of those old transmogs that haven't been available.
Yeah.
Is there still a chance for Baron Rivendare's charger to drop?
We may have a chance in time walking for that mount, actually.
Nice.
Yes.
I got that on my first kill, by the way.
Are you serious? You're that player?
Just sprinkles that in the top.
That's so awesome.
My lucky one was the Headless Horseman's one.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I got I couldn't get the charger, but I ended up with that one. So
It took me years to get that one.
So when I think about WoW's anniversary event, I always think about the Caverns of Time and the party there. Is there any changes to the celebration?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of changes. So you're used to going into the Caverns of Time to sort of experience the anniversary. But you're gonna notice right away that everything is right at the entrance, right outside. And there's all kinds of activities there for people to do. We have a mini trial of style kind of event called Fashion Frenzy, where you're gonna have like different themes to dress up to and vote on your favorite transmogs. We have a storyteller, Lorewalker Cho, is gonna tell a few different stories, and you get to participate in the audience. We also have Mount Mania, which is a fun game where you're going to get to kind of show off your mount collection.
That's a perfect one for you. Right?
All right, hold on. That's a perfect one for Asmongold. I'm like, hold on. How are his mount, tournaments or whatever gonna evolve with this whole like transmog / I can see him just eyebrows beaming right now, just like a roller coaster. His eyebrows are just. No, that's pretty cool. The whole mount thing. whether it's from some of these old dungeons, them speaking about Dire Maul, again, it's something
Yeah.
that's so old and so vague in my memory that I'm like, I can remember being in that forested region. Again, I can't even remember what the zone was called, but I remember being there visually
Yeah.
and in the town and like getting groups for Dire Maul, getting camped, getting confused within Dire Maul because it's just bloody confusing. Unless you have it down, it's like, where am I going in this place?
Yeah.
And yeah, Strathholm, I'm really looking forward to. Strathholm is actually one of my favorite dungeons, and that's actually back when, you know, the guild that we're in now is a throwback to the guild that I was in back in the day, which is Undaunted, which I found when I don't know how old I was, but it was when that raid was popular. It was around that time. I can remember doing that raid with my guild Undaunted back in the day, and so
Yeah.
it's just, this is like a huge nostalgia hit, and I think they know exactly what they're doing and how they're marketing to the player base around my age.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, definitely.
damn smarty pants over here, they're doing it so well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was also gonna say that Stratham was one of my favorite ones. It's also one of the ones I remember like constantly going into to get the item I wanted.
Yeah.
It's very vivid. Like I can picture it completely.
Yeah.
And it was like when he mentioned the few other ones like Dead Mines and stuff like that too, it was like, oh, I know every single one of these. Unlike, like I said, I'm familiar with Blackrock Depths, but these ones I'm super familiar with.
Well,
And
Dead
yeah,
Mines is one of the first dungeons, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't know that? If you
Of
played back
course,
in the day, you gotta know Dead Mines.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to like again being able to pick up some of the transmogs that I don't have
Yeah.
on that front and just like
What I want, oh, speaking about transmogs, it'd be cool if they like, okay, so there's clearly this stark difference between modern WoW, the way modern WoW looks, and the way older WoW looks. And while it can be fun to, I guess, maybe get some of the older transmogs, I personally don't like it so much because they look so dumbed down, right? Like you even see the difference in mounts. Like there's certain mounts, like for example, I have the Zulian Tiger from Zul'Gurub, right? An OG one, not one that I bought somehow or acquired some other way. I have it from the actual boss dropped for me back in the day. That was my, they're talking about lucky mounts that dropped for them. That was my first lucky mount. And you know, I like to show it off every now and then, but the thing is when I pull it out, it literally looks like I'm busting out like PlayStation 1 graphics. Like you could just see like, you know, how it comes into like the polygons and the angles and stuff like that. And I'm like, the difference between the way modern mounts look, oh my god, they look amazing, right? So I think it'd be really cool on the mount side, and specifically speaking on the transmog side for some of these old dungeons, if some of the old pieces of gear could just get updated. I know that's maybe a lot to ask, but it would be cool. So say in Dead Mines, there's a lot of pirate themed stuff. It'd be cool to wear that if it was more than like 4 polygons put together, you know? Or maybe it's just I'm out here trying to look like Minecraft. So either way, I think that's cool.
I love mounts. I love showing off my mounts. I'm really excited for that. There's a lot of different things for you to just explore outside of the activities. We have an ice rink, so you're gonna be able to just slide around into Neris. We have a pet corner where you're gonna be able to turn into your pet. We have costumes, so you can cosplay as heroes and villains from the past. You can run around and like scream different voice lines at people, which is a lot of fun.
My favorite's Illidan. You can be like, you're not prepared. You can just stand and tell everybody they're not prepared.
We also have guest relations where you're going to be solving riddles and clues and other things to help out the visitors within the Caverns of Time.
Oh, so like Secrets of Azeroth?
Yeah, it's like a
nice.
Secrets of Azeroth sequel, basically.
I love that.
Awesome.
I had so much fun with that. Is Korok's Revenge, the PvP brawl, coming back?
Yes, so Korax returns. We'll have that during the whole event. We actually moved the vendors to the new hub. We also have the 3 world bosses returning, the world dragons, then we have Azurgos and Kazakh as well. Plus, we have 2 new gate crashers. Chaw of Anger is going to show up, and so is Archivon the Stonewatcher. They'll both be out in Tanaris as well, similar to where Doomwalker is.
With so many new activities this year, are there new rewards?
Of course, as we looked at the marquee reward for this event, we've come up with a cool riff on a Phoenix mount. So basically, Ashes of Valar was a really good one back in the day that we really thought was iconic. And so we've iterated on it, and now we have this blue Cold Flame Tempest mount. It's got armor on it, and One of the cool things we were able to do is here at Blizzard we have service rewards. So as you're here a few years, you'll get a sword and a shield. So we use that as our basis to do the armor on that mount. And we enjoyed it so much, and the artists, they actually spent one of their hackathons making our service rewards in the game. So you'll be able to collect through the 20th the sword, the shield, the crown that we have. We even have a ring toy that we're going to have players able to get.
It's kind of iconic to have essentially a World of Warcraft team member transmog.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah.
We
have to get suits of armor added as one of our rewards.
Yeah, 30 years, right? We haven't picked the 30-year service reward yet.
We also have a balloon toy, which is really cool. And my favorite is the baby Dreadlord pet.
Oh my god.
So I'm excited to go to the hub and become my baby Dreadlord pet and run around in the area as that.
What's your little sword?
Oh yeah. One of our artists, Mott, he was able to put together the sword like Kozak has, but in baby form. So it's really cool that it fits really well.
It's like a butter knife. So cute. Are there any rewards for the Warcraft 30th anniversary?
Yeah, so we have some faction crests, which are going to be back pieces for each of the 4 Warcraft 3 factions, which is Orc, Human, Night Elf, and Scourge. And these are going to be coming in the November trading post.
How will players get these cool rewards?
It's a great question. We are going to be introducing a new currency this year. Players will be able to collect it from our weekly quests that we'll have for each of our features. And then we also are making sure that if you're really into the Season 1 content, you can still do those weekly quests and the weekly activities to collect the tokens there as well. You're going to get a lot of tokens, and you'll need them because we do have one other big reward. As we started to think about this, we talked with our artists, and everybody really agreed we needed to really go iconic. And we looked back at our Tier 2 sets. So we ended up making all of the Tier 2 sets modern with the new modeling, the new VFX. I can't wait to see people walking around in the Judgment armor.
What about the classes, though, that weren't available when Tier 2 came out?
Okay, hold
You're like, hold up.
Yeah, hold up.
Yeah.
Everything from the puzzles. Let's start from the time walking outside. I know you're going to be hooked on the puzzles.
I know, immediately I was like, riddles?
Yeah, she loves puzzles. I'm going to hate it. I don't want to do that stupid stuff. That's all you, babe. So she's going to drag me along into that, I'm sure, just so we're on the same page. There are a lot of things where, you know, I'm more apprehensive into things that seem pointless to me, like that little ice rink thing. I'm like, okay, but it's so small. I was like, why don't we actually make it fun? I'm like, it's like you let somebody have a fun idea, but then you didn't let them off the leash. Make it the size of a football field out there, so I can have like 100 players just going at it.
Fair.
Honestly, and put
That's
a little
fair.
like icon that's like some sort of pigskin, like a football, and literally let us play like soccer or football, like in game. But on ice, right? That would be fun. That is fun, right? So I don't really know what's the point of this little like practice. Like it's like a skid pad for like when you're learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what is this? So
Yeah.
there's stuff like that where I'm just like, it's hard to be excited about this when I feel like they didn't really let the idea flourish.
That's fair. I totally didn't think about that, but like now that you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, more room for that would be dope.
That's just one thing, but you know, there's many things they could do that on. And I wanted to point out with the whole modern thing, because of what I said last time about wanting to modernize old items, it might be something they literally can't do because it was like, I don't really know how they have these modern looking items in the same engine, right? Like, I don't know if they've updated the back end engine that just has to work with older assets, or if they have the same engine that somehow they've just worked this more vertexes into, more polygons, more, you know, to make everything more rounded, more defined, and with the visual effects, which they had before. Like, visual effects came in, I remember the first time we had stuff glowing back in the day, it was like, oh my god, but the glow looked so bad by today's standards, right? You would look at, there's just a huge difference, like night and day by today's standards, if you put two visual effects, you know, side by side. Today they look so fluid and it's just good on everything. The Tier 2 Paladin set, I think that it showed there, was amazing. It just looks so, they look so good. Nice. There's no jagged edges on them. They look so modern. I'm like, how is this the same game that I played? Like, one of the main things I always complained about for years was I would still play this stupid game if the graphics just looked better. And they did it.
It's true. Yeah.
And they did it. It's honestly, that is the honest truth. I always complain about, I'm like, okay, at some point it just became, it's too old. It looks too archaic. It looks too kiddie at this point. You're like too kid-like. Like, and just the fact that it's like, you know, it's kind of like got those Minecraft graphics. You know what I mean? Like, stuff just starts looking older and older and older. So I think they were a little bit late in their modernization of the game. But at the same time, I'm loving that they're doing it. And I think I just want them to, like, I want the reaches of the modernization to get everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I think the game deserves it.
For sure.
The mounts, the gear,
Everything. Yeah.
I mean, they did it right there. So they basically I just answered my own question. They did it with older gear with the tier 2, but the thing is that I don't know if they had to create all new assets. So if the thing is, if that takes a lot of work and they don't want to do it with everything, then it might just be that we get them special events and special occasions.
For sure, yeah.
But damn it, hire 10,000 people, get it done and everything. Send all the AI in, do something. Don't send all the AI in.
You're like, wait, actually, I didn't.
I just want all of it to look good, man. Okay.
That's a good point. You know, we didn't have monks back then, but we didn't have invokers back then. But we did have a dragon, and they wore armor. And so we really looked at NPCs that were at that period of time. So Nefarian was our model for doing the evoker set. We looked at also like other iconic NPCs that existed back in the day. And so each of the new classes do have their own set. So all 13 classes will have a tier 2 up-res set.
Sick.
Speaking of classes, there's some cool
Yeah, I'm not listening. You're not showing me the warrior one. I'm not listening to anything nobody's saying in this damn video from now on. Where's the warrior set? I'm angry.
changes coming.
Yes, I'm so excited for Drakthir to finally get more classes. So you can expect to see 6 new classes with them, with Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Mage, Warrior, and Warlock. And we're also getting a new skywriting talent, which is called Squadrons, where you're going to be able to have 2 Drakthir companions flying alongside you in like a formation, which is so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Drakthir gonna be like Top Gun.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Gotta
but
reserve
why?
my
I was
goose
just gonna
name.
say.
but
Everybody's
why?
reserving now.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there any other class changes coming?
Yes, we've heard loud and clear from the shamans that they are ready for something new, and we are ready to deliver. We have brand new.
Stop. I literally was thinking just last night, I'm like, for years I've been wanting to make a good shaman. For years. Like, I'm talking a shaman that touches you with his electricity and you literally fry into a little piece of dust bunny. You just flutter away into the sunlight. Because, like, some elemental shamans back in the day, they were not a class that everybody was good at, but every now and then you had some big King Cola shaman come by. They were just like, and like everybody they touched would melt off chain lightning, and I was like, oh. I was like, don't mess with him. Yeah, no, very cool. Let's go. I can't wait to see what they got. What is this, by the way?
Ascendance forms. They really are cool looking. They match each of
Ascendance
the elements
forms?
that shamans use.
They look amazing.
They really do.
This update sounds so amazing. Before we go, is there any other additional details we should tell players?
Yes, one of the things we really want to call out is in the past, these events have been 3 to 4 weeks around the anniversary, but this time, this is the patch. The entire 11.05 patch is really dedicated to the 20th anniversary. It'll go for more than 2 months. We have a lot of time for everybody to get into these features, experience them, play as much as they want, and work towards those 13 sets.
Yeah,
It's
and
huge.
even though we just launched The War Within, this PTR is coming very, very soon. So keep a lookout for the news on when that's coming to you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the 20th anniversary with me. And I can't wait to celebrate the 20th anniversary with you in game. See you next time.
All right. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it was gonna last that long. They really kind of blazed through those last few things. I'm like, stop, rewind. Shaman ascendance forms, you're only gonna show me and not talk about it at all?
Yeah.
What? Come on now. How you gonna do them dirty like that? They're like, oh yeah, shamans, whatever. They just give them something, man. Just make them shut up, please. They won't stop emailing me and sending me post-it notes, angry post-it notes. Wild. Like I was saying, I don't have any idea what that ascendancy stuff is about, but sites like Wowhead and everything probably have whole articles on it already that everybody can go read. So that's super cool. This is a big event, and obviously they did it really big. I guess my only gripe, the only thing that I really had a nitpick with, was that the events outside the time walking caverns or whatever needed to be more. There's space outside of the caverns there, and little pockets between the little mountains there.
Yeah.
But I really think that, you know, a lot of, they said it weird too, Tanaris or something, Tanaris, is just let it out more. You know what I'm saying? Let the fairgrounds or whatever, let the little playground where people get to do things, just let it be a little more. But that's all. Obviously, that's probably not going to change now, being that they're, I guess, getting ready to launch this soon.
Yeah.
Not sure when this patch is dropping. But either way, this has been one of the greatest expansions that I've ever played in the game. I haven't played them all, but definitely this has been one of the greatest.
Agreed.
And
For sure.
what is sick about it is that this is only the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yes.
I've said this before. This is the World Soul Saga, so we got a trifecta of servings here, and it just seems like, just like I always point out with any video I make about the Diablo franchise, all gas, no brakes. Like, they're learning a lot, and instead of seemingly trying things in all different directions, it seems like finally, for the first time in a long time, both teams are unified on one vision, and everybody's in the same direction.
Yeah.
I like that. And I always said in videos that I've complained about, if you don't have good leadership, you don't have your ships going, trying to go every different direction, right? Except forward. So
you need that clear vision.
Yeah, so I really do like how Chris Metzen is back in the picture, and it's only been a net positive for all of us fans. Not only him, I'm sure everybody's a part of the boiling pot, but for me, I feel like you can feel his impact coming back to the franchise. So that was really cool. All the information. Let us know everything you're looking forward to. We are going to hop in game because we're so excited to play every single day. I feel like let's get in the game.
Yeah.
So let us know what classes you're playing, what classes you might look forward to be playing with the new Drakthir classes. They just get to play every class now, seemingly. So okay. I'm one for class parity, like class uniqueness, between the different races and stuff like that. But whatever. I mean, we can play with Alliance now, so some people feel this way about it, some people feel that way about it. As long as I can fight them in PvP and they don't take that away, we're okay.
We're good.
We're cool. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, please, if you like content like this, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.